Mia, I want to talk to you about the ladies' lunch group meeting today. I heard you organized it. I have a complaint to make.
Hello, Mrs. Garcia. Yes, that's right. I was the organizer. Did you have a problem with the venue? Or was it the food? Oh my goodness. You don't have any allergies by any chance, do you?
Yes, I do have an allergy as a matter of fact. It is a very serious one that is causing me much irritation.
Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I had no idea. I heard from one of the other organizers that there were no participants with allergies today. May I ask what you are allergic to?
Poverty.
Poverty? Sorry, am I reading this right? I am not following you. Maybe you misspelled the word?
Yes, my dear, you are reading it correctly. I am not keen on that place at all. The premises are a tad inadequate for our ladies' luncheon group. I prefer somewhere a little more upmarket. I favor a place where the price reflects the quality of the cuisine. I get irritated about the level of service in those kinds of places. I prefer a place where the waiting staff will pamper our needs a little more.
I thought the place we went to today was quite a nice little restaurant. It was a lovely, relaxed atmosphere and the staff was very efficient and polite. It may have been a little expensive and the portions a little small, but I would certainly go there again.
You thought that was nice. I beg to differ in opinion. The decor was decidedly tawdry, the tableware kitsch, and the hygiene was questionable. Were you aware I had to call for another fork because mine was dirty?
I am so sorry to hear that. But overall, the other ladies appeared satisfied with the lunch. And since you don't have any genuine food allergies, then no harm is done.
Harm has been done, my dear. Today's luncheon did not meet the highest standards expected of the ladies' luncheon group. That place would be suited more to members of the working poor class. I didn't realize you were one of the working poor class.
I think your judgment is a little harsh. I don't come from a particularly poor family.
But you were surprised by the price of that restaurant, weren't you? A little expensive, you said. That restaurant is cheap. It is intended for a more ignoble clientele. It is geared towards the working poor class. It's not the kind of place a lady of my social standing would usually choose to frequent. Just do me a favor and remember that in future, will you?
I am so sorry that you were dissatisfied with today's luncheon. I will keep it in mind for future reference.
Actually, while we are talking, there is something else I have been wanting to say to you for quite a while. Unfortunately, I have missed the opportunity on a number of occasions. It's rather personal, but I do not wish you to take offense. Do you mind if I inform you now, Mia?
As you wish, Mrs. Garcia.
I think that the clothes you wear to our luncheon meetings are a little garish. They are not really suitable for our ladies' club. I had an allergic reaction brought on by that awful dress you wore today. Would you kindly consider wearing something a little more classy for the next meeting?
You thought my dress was garish? I don't think it is. I think it suits me.
You might think so, but any woman of my standing would find the mere sight of your dress unpleasant to the eye. Where do they sell dresses like that anyway? Don't you own anything a little more suitable?
I bought it in Bloomingdale's on Northside just last week. I thought it was quite fashionable. Some of the other ladies complimented me on my taste.
Each to her own. But I have a terrible aversion to that color and style. Please don't wear it again.
I am sorry if I offended your sensibility.
We must look our best, Mia. Our children both go to Francis W. Parker. It's one of the most expensive private schools in the country. If you attend that school dressed like that, you will most certainly look out of place. Mia, can you afford to send your son to Parker's?
It is well within our means, Mrs. Garcia. Contrary to your opinion, my business is quite prosperous. We can well afford to send our son to Parker's. We pay the school fees for them to educate our son to an exceptional level, not for them to dictate the manner of my dress. We are free to spend our money however we like. It's not anyone else's business to interfere.
I'm not saying you have to spend all your money on designer dresses, but at least make an effort with your appearance. You only embarrass yourself to turn up at these events dressed like a dog's dinner.
Once again, I can only apologize for offending your sensibility, Mrs. Garcia. I will keep your comments in mind next time I dress for lunch.
Yes, that's just what I wanted to hear. You have been very gracious with me. Now, you need to be a bit more aware of yourself as the mother of a private school student. Mia, excuse me for interrupting again, but there is something else that has been bothering me. I would like to get it off my mind.
What else is bothering you, Mrs. Garcia?
We have established that you are a member of the poor working class, yet you claim to run a prosperous business. I was wondering what kind of business you might be in that enables you to afford to send your son to an expensive private school. Are the rumors true?
What rumors?
Is it true you work in the Bunny Club district?
Did you see me in the Bunny Club district?
Just a minute. What are you insinuating, Mrs. Garcia? Are you telling me that there is a rumor going around about me working at a bunny club? Where did you hear this? Who did you hear it from? I need to know. Didn't you know? The rumors are all around the school. Most of the ladies' luncheon club are privy to the knowledge.
What is this knowledge you are referring to?
And tell me where you heard it first. I'm the one who found you out.
You found me out?
What exactly did you find out?
What exactly do you think you saw?
You want to know? Actually, I saw you by chance in the Bunny Club district downtown, dressed up to the nines in stockings and heavy makeup. It was obvious what you had been up to.
And what exactly do you think I was obviously up to, Mrs. Garcia?
You were just finishing an evening of work, right? You can't hide it from me, Mia. I saw everything.
So, if it was you who saw me, then I guess it was you who planted the seed of this rumor?
Oh, now you have found me out.
Mrs. Garcia, I would like to make a polite request of you. I would like you to nip this nonsense in the bud right now. I would like you to stop this rumor from spreading before it gets out of control. Would you do that for me, Mrs. Garcia? I need you to clear up this misunderstanding. You must inform everyone that you were mistaken. I need you to tell them that I am not working in a bunny club.
But you were there, weren't you? And you were dressed up to the nines, weren't you? You were in the Bunny Club district in the middle of the night, weren't you? You can't deny that. I was a witness to the fact. Tell me that it is true. Or can't you think of an excuse to exonerate yourself?
Actually, you are right. I can't think of a reasonable excuse to exonerate myself.
But why should I?
Shouldn't my word be enough for you to believe that I am telling the truth? I am not some kind of night worker. Perhaps, Mrs. Garcia, I have one or two things happening in my private life that are nobody else's business but my own.
I can't disagree with that. So, you can't tell me? Or won't tell me?
No, I can't. And I won't. But I'm certainly not working in the Bunny Club in the capacity that you imagine I am.
Let's just say I just happened to be in that place at that time dressed in that way for a reason that is not the business of anyone else but me.
Finish.
I don't buy it.
Well, it is the truth. I am not a night worker. Now, can you please put a stop to this dreadful rumor?
I cannot stop this dreadful rumor if you haven't given me a good reason to. If you want the rumors to stop, tell me the reason.
I am sorry, Mrs. Garcia. It is something I don't want to discuss with you or anyone else at my son's school.
In that case, my dear Mia, since you are unable to provide me with a good enough reason, I am afraid that the rumors cannot be stopped. However, if and when you do decide to tell me what you were doing there, please let me know and I will certainly consider nipping the whole thing in the bud. Good afternoon, Mia. How are you? The college entrance exams are coming up.
Hello, Mrs. Garcia. I'm fine, thank you. Yes, my son is very busy studying recently. He's getting very serious about his future.
What college is your son taking the test for?
He is not planning on going to college. He wants to go to a vocational school.
A vocational school? Oh, you must be very disappointed. Especially after paying all that money to put him through private school.
I'm not disappointed in the least. He has had a dream since he was a little boy to work in the aerospace industry. He wants to be an aircraft maintenance technician. Without going to vocational trade school, he wouldn't be able to enter the field.
Are you serious?
He is very serious about what he wants to do. My husband and I are very proud of his decision, and we will support him in every way we can. Is there a problem with that? Or should I ask whether you have a problem with that, Mrs. Garcia?
I wouldn't exactly say it was a problem. I feel sorry for you that your son has only minor aspirations. I mean, to be a tradesman. If I were you, I would be quite disappointed that he is not going to college. It's usually the people who aren't good at studying that go to vocational trade schools.
With all due respect, Mrs. Garcia, I think you have it wrong there.
I am quite sure it is you who is mistaken, Mia. Your son's grades must be terribly low. He ought to have made a little more effort. Were you aware of his low grades? Didn't you punish him? He should at least try to get into junior college. It doesn't have to be Ivy League. Surely he could still get in. I think applications are still open for some entrance exams.
I'm sorry, but my son's future is not any of your business. He made his decision having discussed it with me and my husband, as well as his teachers and the school's careers advisor. He has been very mature in his decision-making process.
It's a pity that he doesn't have many opportunities, not being as bright as the others.
How can you say such a horrible thing? He is just as bright as any of the other children in his year.
My son is planning on going into medicine. He is going to do a 4-year pre-med in neuroscience at Harvard. That course of study will prepare him for his MCAT, which he'll need to get into medical school. He did consider going into law for a while, but in the end, we all thought medicine had better prospects. Besides, it's much better to say you are a doctor than a lawyer or a politician.
You are probably right.
With a doctor in the family, our medical fees will be waived. That is an added bonus, wouldn't you say? He'll have a very high salary. Medical doctors can earn in excess of $180,000, you know.
A lawyer also has a high salary.
Oh, we looked into it. Lawyers don't earn half of what a medical doctor can earn.
It would be useful to have a lawyer in your family, especially if someone brought a lawsuit against you. You'll want to avoid the cost of serious litigation. If your son was a lawyer, he would fight your case for free.
There is no way I will ever need to be defended in court. That is not going to happen. I am a law-abiding citizen with no intention of ever breaking the law.
You never know what may happen in the future. Life throws all sorts of obstacles in our path.
What you are suggesting is all academic anyway. Our son is going into medicine. It has all been decided. So please don't try to tell me what my son should study. It's none of your business.
And I'll throw that ball straight back to you. My son's course of study is none of your business either.
Oh, is that the time already? I have to prepare for luncheon. Goodbye, Mia.
Mrs. Garcia, we need to talk to you. Is now convenient?
Oh, hello, Mia. I am a little busy right now. We are in the middle of deciding where to celebrate our son's graduation.
What was all that about today?
I don't know what you were talking about. Can't this wait? I am a little tied up now.
During the ceremony today, you kicked me from behind. You yelled at me too. Something about my outfit, wasn't it?
Oh, that?
Then you took my seat.
Why would you do that? What did I do to you? Just as I said. Didn't you hear me?
I'm afraid I couldn't make out what you were saying. Please tell me again now.
I would be delighted to refresh your memory. I said, it's 100 years too soon for you to stand in front of me. Let me spell it out for you in words that a member of America's working poor class will understand. You shouldn't stand in front of the granddaughter of the boss of the Chicago gang.
The granddaughter of the boss of the Chicago gang?
Yes, Mia. I am the granddaughter of the boss of the Chicago gang. A very, very famous mafia gang based in Chicago. I am sure you must have heard of it.
Stop kidding around with me, Mrs. Garcia.
I am not kidding, Mia. I was brought up in a mafia household. We were brought up on good quality food. That's why I come out with a poverty allergy.
You are kidding.
You are so annoying. I am telling the truth. I was brought up in a mafia family. We only ate food that was so good that it would kick your tongue around the dining room, as they say. That's why I now have an allergy to poverty.
It's a lie.
How dare you say that? It is not a lie.
Garcia, you got a nerve to speak all that nonsense to me. You think you can talk to me like that? What's wrong with you? Do you know who I am?
Mia?
Do not address me that way again. From now on, you call me Mrs. Nelson.
You are a mafia granddaughter, are you?
You make me laugh. You are nothing but a stupid cucuzzo.
Mia? What's gotten into you? And what is a cucuzzo?
I said, call me Mrs. Nelson. Do you hear me?
I am the granddaughter of the mafia leader, you dummy.
And you are a stupid cucuzzo.
It's Italian for dummy. Didn't you get that information from watching The Godfather too? Please, Mia, stop fooling around.
Mrs. Nelson. Go ask your granddaddy. He will tell you. Now hear this. A mediocre person like yourself needs to educate herself on the mafia code of conduct.
You can't call me mediocre.
You can't just watch a Godfather box set and reel off a few quotes to suit yourself. Garcia isn't even a vaguely Italian name. Spanish, right? I guess Europe is all the same to a mediocre bambino like yourself.
Stop fooling around. You have had your joke now. Let's put a stop to this dreadful nonsense.
I am not joking, Garcia. You rocked the boat and ruined my reputation. You're gonna pay, lady.
Pay?
I'll call my granddaddy up. He would be very interested in what I have to tell him. Why don't you come on over and meet him? Let's settle once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another episode of Tell the Truth. To start our show off, we have two very special guests, Miss Mia Nelson and Miss Maria Garcia. Will the real mafia granddaughter please stand up now?
I think I'll take a rain check. I'm not feeling too well.
What are you laughing about, Garcia? This is not a laughing matter.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Nelson.
That's better. Now remember my name. I heard from some of the other parents at the school that you were always mouthing off about your so-called mafia connections. You were always trying to put the fear of God into people to get them to respect you and do as you say.
I did no such thing.
You can't wriggle out of this one, Garcia. You are a fraud. A liar. Let me see. How would you put it? A prevaricator. I have all the incriminating evidence I need to make your life hell. They showed me their WhatsApp messages. You think you were so clever with your big words, poverty allergies, and trash talk. But compared to me, you are wet behind the ears. You are just a kid on the streets. You need to watch what you say. You need to watch your back.
You wouldn't.
I have evidence. It's all written down clearly in the WhatsApp messages that you sent. Talk about digging your own grave. You gotta choose your friends wisely, Garcia, or you will end up on the wrong side of the law. I am the granddaughter of a mafia boss. He's very serious about what he wants to do. My husband and I are very proud of his decision, and we will support him in every way we can. Did you put the fear of God up those poor ladies at the luncheon club with your games, Garcia? Think very carefully before you answer. Take your time, Garcia. Are you feeling okay, Garcia?
What do you mean, am I feeling okay?
You told all those lies and talked about being the granddaughter of the mafia boss. You spoke flippantly and without heed to the dishonor that you might bring to our family. You disrespected the reputation of the mafia. You insulted my grandfather. I am talking about my family, the biggest mafia family in Chicago. I wondered if you were coming down with a bad case of temporary amnesia. I hope you know who you were dealing with here.
Look, I'm a little busy right now, Mrs. Nelson. I have to be going. Goodbye.
Garcia, I am not finished with you yet. I'll be in touch. Take care not to get into any accidents. Hey, Garcia. Buongiorno. Long time no see.
Hello, Mrs. Nelson. Sorry I haven't been in touch recently. I've been quite out of sorts. How are you? What can I do for you?
We need to have a little talk about a number of incidents you were involved in.
Incidents, Mrs. Nelson? Would you mind elaborating?
Let's not play the amnesia card again. Do you think you can fool the real granddaughter of a mafia boss? Let me refresh your memory. The incidents I'm referring to are specifically assault, adultery, and defamation of character. You have gone very quiet, Garcia. Are you feeling okay? Are you getting nervous?
I have no idea what you are talking about. Are you daring to feign ignorance to the granddaughter of a mafia boss?
Take a little time, Garcia. Think about what I am saying. I'm talking about you, Garcia. You are the culprit. You have been caught red-handed. I now have all the incriminating evidence I need. I looked into everything.
Excuse me? I am not sure what you're claiming.
Have you lost your memory, Garcia? 'Cause I am kind, I'll explain to you all the evidence I have. Piece by piece.
It's okay. You don't need to do that. I am sure this has nothing to do with me.
Let's not shilly-shally, Garcia. Think back. There was a violent crime committed about a month ago.
A month ago?
Are you sure you don't remember? Take your time, Garcia. We were all at a large event with our children.
Graduation day?
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct! I am glad to see it's coming back to you. Do you remember what you did to me at the graduation? You went silent on me again. Are you still there, Garcia? Don't say you don't remember, Garcia! What did you do to me on the day of the graduation ceremony? Take your time. Today I want to settle some business, so don't tell me you're innocent. Don't be afraid. The truth is all I am looking for. I don't want to make an orphan out of your son.
I kicked you.
Ding, ding, ding! Correct answer! You're doing really well. Next question. How did you kick me?
I kicked you lightly. From behind.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct again. I am glad you remembered. It makes it that much easier for us all. You have just admitted to committing a violent crime. Certainly it wasn't a big injury, but in the eyes of the law, it is considered a violent crime. Violent crime can be anything from a common assault at one end of the scale to murder at the other. The judicial system is there to lay a foundation of respect. You know what?
What?
Pouring water over someone, cutting their hair, and other similar actions are not only disrespectful, but are also considered acts of violence in the eyes of the court.
This can't be true. Can it?
It seems you are either uninformed or ignorant about the law in this country. It's a good thing I am here to educate you on these things, isn't it? You should be thanking me.
Be careful, Garcia. Beware of the small things. People who refuse to pay suffer the consequences. But, Mrs. Nelson, that was over a month ago. Surely it's too late to file a police report on something that happened a month ago.
There is a statute of limitations on assault. It is a third-degree felony.
A felony? Surely not.
In the state of Illinois, the limitation is 3 years. That means that a victim of the assault has 3 years from the time of the incident to press charges. You can still go to court 3 years after the fact. You can still be sued. Even if a claimant doesn't wish to prosecute now, she may wish to at any time in the next 3 years. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Within 3 years? I had no idea.
I am glad that we understand each other. Now, about the defamation of character.
I haven't defamed anyone's character.
I have plenty of evidence to incriminate you, Garcia. It seems that you have made a few enemies, Garcia. Other parents were only too pleased to cooperate with me to provide as much evidence as I need. Some have even offered to testify on my behalf if it comes to that.
You aren't talking about WhatsApp messages, are you?
Ding, ding, ding! That is correct. I am so pleased that you are willing to cooperate. I have acquired screenshots and timestamps of everything that you have said about me in the last few months. So don't even bother trying to erase your chat histories. I like to be thorough.
You are joking, right?
'Cause I'm kind, I'll explain to you all the evidence I have, piece by piece. You said I was having affairs with my customers behind my husband's back. What was that all about? Where did you get the so-called information to supercharge your rumors?
I heard it from someone else.
Who was your source? You can't think of who it was because it was you that made up the story. You planted the seed that flourished and bloomed. The lies spread like a virus and came right back to you. The rumors you heard are the lies that you've been spreading.
But you were down in that part of town late at night. I saw you with my own eyes. I am not lying about that.
So, you saw where I was working, did you? Which bar was it? Can you tell me that? No, I didn't think so. Did you see me serving beer and working as a hostess in the bar? Did you see me having affairs with men behind my husband's back?
Not exactly.
You can't think of who it was because it was you that made up the story. You planted the seed that flourished and bloomed, the lies spread like a virus and came right back to you. Because I don't work in a bunny bar. I am not a hostess. I am nothing that you say I am.
So what were you doing in that part of town?
You still don't get it, do you? For the grand prize of $1 million, all you have to do is answer this one simple question. What would the granddaughter of a mafia boss be doing in that part of town, folks? Time is up, Garcia. You saw me in that area of town because it's my turf. I was doing my rounds. I was making my presence known to my clients. I was checking up on businesses.
Oh, I didn't know the Mafia did that kind of thing.
For someone who was the granddaughter of a mafia boss, you sure are wet behind the ears, lady. Either that or you were lying through your teeth. You may think it's funny, but you'll be laughing on the other side of your face if you keep it up. Generally, I like to keep a low profile when I am doing my rounds. But unfortunately, you have now blown my cover and compromised my position.
Sorry.
Sorry is just a word when it is not said with feeling. There was a time when I was really hurt by the rumors that spread from the lies that you told. And no amount of words can make up for that now. I lost friends. My son was picked on at school. I was really hurt.
I am so sorry, Mrs. Nelson.
Sorry is not enough. I want compensation.
Compensation?
And let's say you were going to compensate me, because it's in your interest to compensate me.
In my interest? Are you threatening me, Mrs. Nelson?
I don't see it as a threat, Garcia. I see it as payback for all the lies you told about me having an affair with the clientele of a bunny club behind my husband's back. Take your time. Today, I want to settle some business, so don't tell me you are innocent. Don't be afraid. The truth is all I am looking for. I don't want to make an orphan out of your son.
What are you talking about? What were you doing in the Bunny Club district, Garcia? I just happened to be passing through.
Like you pass through there every week on your way to a secret liaison. You are having an affair behind your husband's back.
How did you find out?
I just found out by chance. Are you beginning to see the hypocrisy of it all, Garcia?
How can you find out something like that by chance?
Of course you can't. In order to take advantage of your weak points, I have my men tell you. Then by chance, they followed you through the Bunny Club district to your little love nest in a very seedy part of town. Do you get where this is going?
You used your men to spy on me?
It is truly heartwarming to see the lengths that my associates will go to please me. I am blessed with a few good men. They will do anything I ask.
Mrs. Nelson, I can't believe you are doing this to me. Why are you going to these lengths? Violence and defamation of character, I'll accept, but it has nothing to do with me having an affair.
You are right about that. But I told you, didn't I? The Mafia do things thoroughly. We don't cut corners when revenge is involved.
I only kicked you lightly. This is an extreme response.
Lightly? If you were kicked by someone from behind and you fell forward, would you think it was just a light kick and forgive it?
If you put it that way.
I can't forgive that. You kicked me! If you had a reason to kick me, then I can forgive you. But you gave me the reason that I was out of your league, so I can't forgive you. How can a Mafia granddaughter forgive something like that?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Nelson. How many times do I have to say it? Please forgive me. I'm begging you, please. I will apologize over and over.
I don't need your apology. I am very annoyed about something more than the kick.
More?
You used the name of my Mafia family to threaten me and other people.
Oh, yes, I did that. And I am truly sorry. I was just having a bit of fun. I won't ever do it again. I learned my lesson.
A bit of fun? You think that is a small thing? Your behavior was an insult to our family and ruins our reputation with falsehoods.
You're taking it too seriously. I said I'm sorry. Mrs. Nelson, please.
You insulted my family. The Mafia doesn't have a good reputation among ordinary people. We are aware of that. And its reputation is harmed further by loose-tongued dummies like yourself. That's why I don't tell people about my Mafia family ordinarily. I keep it hidden. But you used our good name and dragged it through the mud with your vicious rumors. It's not good for the family. It's not good for the organization. I cannot forgive that.
Mrs. Nelson, what more can I do? What more can I say? I am sorry.
Next up, we are starting to see a pattern of behavior here. You had an affair behind his back. You made him look a fool. I cannot forgive that. You betrayed your husband. No. Next on my list, and there is a definite pattern emerging here.
You told a lie about your son going to medical school. You made him look a fool. I cannot forgive you for that. You lie and deceive people around you. Garcia, I cannot forgive you for ruining the reputation of so many good people in our community. Where did you get your hands on all this information? The Mafia network may be invisible, Garcia, but we are everywhere. You can't hide from us. We will find you. We know every nook, every cranny, every hiding place that a bent copper or a mealy-mouthed crook can hide. We have the means to find out anything. Your poor son, stressed out by his studies over the past year. Leave my son out of this. He's none of your business. You made it my business when you brought him into the conversation. You need to show him more respect. Isn't it a parent's job to lead their children in the right direction and respect their opinion? All you did was push him and force him to follow an ideal you had in your mind of what he should be. You betrayed your son. No. How can you say that? Does the Mafia lead people in the right direction? Don't preach to me. You need to get your own house in order first. You are treading on dangerous ground here, Garcia. You seem to enjoy making fun of my family. I don't feel good about the direction this is taken. Oh God, I am sorry. I didn't mean it. It just slipped out in the heat of the moment. Can't we just forget I said that? Many true words are said in the heat of the moment, and many lies are artfully constructed over time. You said sorry, but your words don't carry no weight. You just saying that 'cause you want to be off the hook. You're wrong. I don't believe anything you say. Your words have no meaning. Show me by your actions. What do I have to do to appease you? You will have to pay alimony to your husband. I won't have to pay alimony. We aren't getting divorced. He won't find out. I don't like to see people being betrayed and disrespected, Garcia. I personally handed all the evidence I have to your husband. He thanked me and told me he'd divorce his wife and sue her for alimony. You gave him evidence? You're kidding me! Garcia, you are a housewife. You have never had a job. You always lived off your husband. Do you have any money to pay alimony? Of course I don't. What am I going to do? It's all your fault. Since it's my fault, I can fix it for you, 'cause I am an honorable person. I'll give you a job. You can come to work for me. What kind of job? You are lucky. You found a job so quickly. You will soon be able to pay compensation back to me and alimony to your husband. I'll pay you back as soon as I can. But I will persuade my husband to stay with me. We can work it out. I don't think so. I hope so. Once Garcia and her husband's divorce was finalized, I took her to the bunny club district. I gave her a room and a job working as a bunny. Unfortunately, she was too old to be popular, so we used her as support staff. I am not going to let her off the hook until she has paid me and her husband off. Her son used his father's connections to get a job in a company. He is working hard so as not to embarrass his father, and his colleagues are looking after him. My son is now studying to be an aerospace engineer. He enjoys working hard every day. I check in on Garcia every day to make sure she is working hard to pay off her debts. Life is good. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment below. See you next time.